Hey y'all, I'm Jaha Zainabu and welcome to Storytime with Jaha Zainabu 13. 13. Yes, 13. Um, so let's see. I'm feeling a lot better today than I felt yesterday, by the way. If you saw Storytime 12, then you know sometimes I get sad and weepy. Listen, it's a part of it. It's a part of being me. It's a part of being human. Um, but we write and we tell stories and we create through all of our moods. So in the face of I don't feel like it, I'm going to show up for my commitment because I'm going to show up for this commitment. Let's see, what is the random story I will begin with today? Maybe not a random story, but more, I don't know, a life update. Um, so, kind of been going through it a little bit. And that's kind of like my mood yesterday, Like, I wasn't really sad, just tired. Not sleepy tired, but tired from back to back to back races in my life. I'm not the only one, I know. When I was in junior high school, I ran track. I was not the best runner, but I did okay. I ran the 880, and sometimes I ran the 440 or wherever I could. I got in where I could fit in. And I didn't mind multiple races. I didn't mind that. I did mind back-to-back races. Like, I'm finished and then the other race, it's like, coach, damn. And so sometimes life can feel like those back-to-back races. To know me is to know that I get transparent, I get real, I get raw. To me, why tell a story if you're not going to get real and raw about it? You know? But that's who I am. So to know me is to know that. And if you are new to me and new to my stories or new to my poetry, that's what to expect. I kind of tell it. I just do. I remember a long time ago, I asked, for those of you, some of you may know V. Kali. She's a poet and a mentor to so many people in Los Angeles. And I call her my godmother. I remember one time I asked her, I said, why do artists go through the shit we go through? And she said, because you will tell it. And the world needs to hear it and learn from it. That's all. And if you worked at the post office, you might keep it to yourself and keep stamping letters and not share it. And maybe she's right. My life is no harder than, other lives. It's not by many, in many ways, I have it great, But yesterday kind of felt like that. Like, I live as an artist. I live as a poet. I live selling books and ebooks and paintings and from gig to gig. And, sometimes the gigs don't stack up and the sales don't come through fast enough or whatever. And, in the face of that, we still got to dance. We still got to rent is still due. As cool as my landlord is, I cannot go to her and say, you know what, that painting just didn't sell this month. I can't go to her with that. This is the life that, I don't know if it's the life I chose or the life that chose me, but it is the life that I am living out with my whole chest. And, you know, sometimes there's a dance that comes with this life. And part of that dance sometimes sucks. A part of that dance sometimes includes a lull in your sales and what to do then. You know? So that's where I was. I'm kind of at a lull in art sales. So it's just a matter of me being creative here or there, you know. The truth is, if I had some regular job, I would be doing some kind of dance there too. Whatever that dance would be, I would be doing that there. And this is part of the dance here. So there has been a lull in art sales and a lull in ebook sales and books, like just all over. So, you know, everything is due. And so I'm looking for a job, and I put in an application for jobs that I am willing to do. And so I had an interview today with this is the life update. So I had an interview today, this morning, with it's a cleaning company. Cleaning is a job that I can do easily, and I throw some headphones on, and I really am not one for offices. I don't want to hear about your problems, Susan. I don't want some boss standing over my shoulder telling me that the X25 forms are due by 4:30. I don't give a fuck about the X25 forms, ever. I never give a fuck about the X25 forms, ever. Whatever they are. I just don't thrive in those kind of environments. I don't. I get irritated. I don't play well with others like that. I do play well with others in general, but just in office settings, that just tends to not be my jam. So when I need extra money, I usually work as a caregiver. And I really don't feel like doing that these days. The older I get, the less I am willing and able to lift bodies from the bed to the chair to the couch to the chair to the tub to the sink to the or I'll take a job as a cleaner. So I had a job as a cleaner today. And it was pretty cool. The pay is like kind of good for a cleaner. I never had a cleaning job pay like this. So I don't know what the deal is, but it's like kind of cool. So I kind of want it, right? So like I said, there's always a dance. And so do I want to be in an office? I do not. But I will throw some headphones on and wipe some table. I will sweep some floor while I am thinking about what painting I'm going to paint and what story I'm going to tell on YouTube or for my next gig, whatever. So cross your fingers. So it was a group interview, and we sat at a table and we talked, and everybody talked about how they just love cleaning. I do actually love cleaning, though. I'm actually a pretty neat person, but but we all put it on thick about how we love cleaning, and and I had a good time. I had a good time. I met some cool people. And the guy said that he'd let us know by the end of the week if we got the job. So pray saints, or buy some art, paint, well, however you wanted to come through. So that's enough of that. Today I found some journal entries of when I worked as a caregiver back in 2011. in Los Angeles. Baby, that time in my life was ridiculous because I was just back in LA. Before then, I was living in McDonough, Georgia, and I left Georgia, and went back to California. So I'm back in California, and so I need some money. So what do? I join a home health agency, is what I do. Home health agencies fucking suck. They are trash. They are basura, okay? Except for one. If you are in, well, actually, they have them all throughout the United States, but there is an agency called Home Instead. If you fuck with Home Instead, kind of stay there, because I rock with Home Instead. But a lot of the agencies are just trash, and they treat their employees like shit, and they expect everything from them, and it's crazy, and they pay them. So this agency, I don't even remember what it was called, because if I remembered what it was called, I would call their names. And I'm not like into public shaming or I'm not into that. I think you can tell your story without doing that, but this company, basura. It was run by this black man who had a white wife. No shade. If you are a brother and you into your white girls, do your motherfucking thing. This video is not that. But do not do your thing and talk about black women, okay, really, really badly, the way that this brother did. And so he would like be very vocal about how he felt that black women were all just angry, and we didn't work. It was bad and wrong the way that he treated us. And we always, like, the black women in this agency got all the shit clients. We got the worst shifts, and anytime we complained, it was because we were angry black women, which is fucked up, because the black women I know work our fucking asses off. God, what was the name of that? Anyway, so it's 2011, and one of my I'm so glad I found these journal entries, and some are on my blog, and I'm so glad. I used to take my journal with me every day, and I would just write down. I would write the time and what they said, and if there was nothing going on, I would tell other stories. I'm always writing. I'm always telling some story. This is not new. So one of the first clients I had was a woman named Clara. Clara is not her real name. I changed her name. All of the clients, I changed their name, except for one. There is a client that I had, and she was not with an agency. She was a client I got through word of mouth. And her name was Catherine Robertson. What's her name? And I say her name because I want to keep her alive in every way that I could keep that dear, sweet, wonderful woman alive. I've told stories and poems about, recited poems about her in other Storytime videos. And her name is Catherine. So if you ever hear Catherine and it's me taking care of her, that's her real name. She was an amazing woman. She is probably the only woman that I know, not just woman, she might be the only human being I know that I have nothing bad to say about. Like, just not one thing, not one damn thing. I really loved her, and she made my life easy, especially during a time when my life was not easy. But she and her family really made my life easy. Anyway, Clara was one of the first clients that I got while working for this agency. back in 2011 in Los Angeles. And oh, I just remember the name of the agency too. I might say it, I might not. I don't know. Anyway, Clara was 99 years old and a white woman. And if you can just think back to where the world, where America was 99 years ago. So she was a pretty racist woman and very outspoken and pretty bold about her racism. And she had Alzheimer's. So that dementia had her repeating stories that were bad and wrong. Often. I did not look over the stories that I'm going to read. I don't know what they are. I just saw her name and a bunch of Clara stories. And I was like, ooh, bet that's what I'm going to read today. So I didn't read over them. So I'm going to tell you some stories that I remember about Clara before I read them. And if I see them in the notes, I'll just skip over them. So there's one story about Clara. So when I met her with her two daughters. Also, obviously, white women. So one of her daughters were around my age. And so her daughters were like, Mom's pretty, Mom's not nice sometimes. And I was like, you know what, I get it, I understand. No, she's really not nice sometimes. And sometimes she says things that are kind of racist. So I'm so sorry, you know. So I was like, you know what, I get it. So they tried to warn me. So I meet Clara, and we have adventures. Every day Clara had there was a caregiver there when I got there, so she was never alone. She did live alone technically, but she was never alone because she had 24-hour care. Her daughters did not live there. So I would arrive very early, and I would relieve the person who was there overnight. So every morning when I got there, I would go into her room and greet her, and she would just be waking up. And every morning she would say, "Don't they have any women working here?" Bitch, you know I'm a woman, so stop it. So we would have that. It's me, Clara. It's okay. It's okay. And so we would go about our morning routine. I would give her a bath, and she would tell me, she would read the paper, and she'd tell me, she would tell me about how she voted for Obama. Like I gave a damn. So one day, she had a doctor's appointment, and in LA, they have these things called, the vans are called access vans. I don't know what they're called in other places, or if access is the van throughout the country. I don't know. But the access vans, they would drive, like, if you had some, need for a van and you could not drive yourself, you could call an access van if you had that kind of insurance, I guess. And she did. So for her doctor's appointments, we would call the access vans. One day we called the van. We were at the hospital. We had completed her medical, whatever she was there to be seen about. It was over. So we are at Kaiser, and we are waiting for the van to pick us up to come from Kaiser and take us back to her home. And we get in the van, and there is a young African-American man who is driving. I know Clara is going to have something to say. Because it's Clara. And old or not, dementia or not, ooh, um, you really want me as your caregiver because, like, you do. Because I actually do have integrity and I am still nice to these very wicked people. But baby. So anyway, we are in the van and we're coming to Clara's house. So the guys, so he buckles her in. She's in the front seat. I'm in the back seat, and I sit behind the driver. Oh shoot! So I sit behind the driver. And when he pulled up to her condo, he stops behind the driveway because, well, you don't want to block the driveway and other cars need to come in and out. And we are going to be a while because we have to get her situated into her wheelchair. So she's has a problem that we are not pulling closer, and us pulling closer would block the driveway, and we're not doing that. So she says, pull up. And so he looked at me in the mirror, and I was like, no, I understand you can't pull up. So she says, pull up. And so he was like, ma'am, I can't. So she said, you don't understand what I'm saying? I'll say it in your language then. Pull up, rat, cheer. So, one is one of many. The level, I am really about to be exposing a lot of stuff when I tell you these stories, because it's like looking back and rereading them. It's like, what in the help was going on, right? For $9 an hour. Okay. Yeah, $9 whole an hour in 2011 in California. But such is life. So one day I might not have to read it at all. I'll probably have Clara's stories is still like ready to unpack. Okay. So one day, she was, I gotta tell you this. So this is when I first, like, I'm brand new to Clara, and she did not allow me to be in the room with her unless I was working. So if I was giving her a bath, okay. If I was, I don't know, changing her diaper or something, actively working, then I could be in the room with her. If not, I had to be my black ass in the living room, which was far from her bedroom. She had a huge condo and there was a long hallway. So I had to be all the way at the end of the hallway, sitting on her couch in the living room, writing horrible things about her in my journal. So she didn't know my name. She never learned my name. So she was in her bedroom and I had to really listen carefully because we're far apart. So she's in her bed and I'm brand new to her. So she's in her bed and she starts screaming, help, help, help. I'm like, fuck. So I'm racing in there and I'm like, what the fuck, Clara? I mean, but what? Can I help you? So I get there and as calm as she can be, she says, can you hand me the paper? And bitch. So I handed her the paper. Okay. So I leave and I go back into, the living room. I'm sitting in the living room and I'm back. I'm watching TV. I'm writing in my journal. And again, help! Help! So I race in there again. And she says, is there any more tea? You know what you're going to do? Is stop with that bullshit that you're doing. That's what you're going to do. So she does this, and this goes on like a couple days. it does not dawn on me until probably the third day that she is not asking for help. She is calling me the help. That's my name. I'm help. Fuck my name. Fuck Jaha. Fuck Robin. Fuck all of... Help is who I am. Hi. I'm help. That's who I am. So that was Clara. More Clara. What's another one? So one day, we were in the living room watching television, and some talk show, and a man, oh, what happened? Let me get it right. A white man is on this show, and this man is married to a black woman. And so she said to me, can you imagine how his family must feel? And so I said, well, what about her family? And she said, don't give me that. I voted for Obama. Like, these motherfuckers know what the fuck they're doing, okay? So on the same day, so we're watching TV, and so that show is over, but we're still in the living room. She's on the couch, and we're watching TV, and I am changing her, and she has had a bowel movement, so I'm cleaning her. Y'all don't know this side of Jaha Zainabu, so I'm cleaning her. And talk about patience tested. So I don't remember what show was on, but she said, is that, talking about the actor, she says, is that Charlie Sheen? And I said, no, that's not Charlie Sheen. That's, what's another white actor? That's Tom Cruise, whoever. Not Charlie Sheen, though. It's Tom Cruise. She says, no, I think that's Charlie Sheen. And some days, I just give it to her. That's who I usually am. Like, you know what? If you need this to be Charlie Sheen, it's motherfucking Charlie Sheen. Because who cares? But this day, I didn't want her to have it. So I said, no, that's not Charlie Sheen. It's whoever the fuck I said it was. It's that person. So I'm in the process of cleaning and changing her. And remember, I mentioned she had a bowel movement. Bitch says to me, well, if you're wrong, in her best Southern drawl, which she did not have a Southern drawl, unless she was speaking to me. Help. If you're wrong, can I rub it on your face? I think people should realize the vulnerable position that they are in. Even if they're 99 years old, even then, they should realize this black bitch could fuck me up right now. I should collect myself and be a better human being. Probably. She didn't. I'm gonna read, because I'm actually curious about what stories I told here. So again, some I don't know what they are, so kind of roll with me, okay? This one is called Monday at Clara's, and this was August 8th, 2011. 7:47 a.m. Clara, help! Help! I walked in the room and she's dreaming. I'm at Clara's again. Glenda, my supervisor, called me at about 11 o'clock last night and asked if I would come back to Clara's again. I was scheduled to begin my week at Deborah's today, but the person who was scheduled to be here at Clara's called in or called out. Put your finger there. people always called out at Clara's house. Okay. So, yeah, they always did. Clara was so bad that we only fuck with Clara one day a week when we could. That's how they had to like try to schedule us. But people couldn't last at Clara's because it was too bad. So when the Monday person, let's say I had, fuck it, Mondays. If the Tuesday person didn't show up, then they would move me from any other random good client back to Clara's. So then I had Mondays and Tuesdays at Clara's. And then it got to be that the Wednesday person was like, I don't want to be with this bitch either. So then I had Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays at Clara's. So then the Thursday person was like, shit, if it's that easy, I don't want to fuck with her either. Okay, so you see where this is going. So then it got to be that Clara was my client every fucking day, right? And there is no me saying, well, I can't either. There's no that, because then I'm an angry black woman. Anyway, I'm not over it, right? Okay, so where am I? Where was I? Okay, the person who was supposed to be at Clara's called in or called out. And getting a replacement at Clara's is not an easy task. I really don't want to be here, but I did like the idea of going home 3 nights in a row. Because at my other client, I would work nights and I would spend the night there. Like I would go in and just spend the whole week there. And I don't really like doing that because she had a cat and I want to go home and sleep in my own fucking bed. Anyway, 3 nights in a row. Then she asked if I would work the 12-hour shift at Clara's. The 12-hour shift at Clara's, then drive to Pasadena and finish the night at Deborah's. I'll gladly try, I thought to myself, and literally laughed out loud. So the I'll gladly try is a joke. So I am going to get through this story, but again, it surprised me. I didn't know that was there. So now I have to tell you the inside joke. So I'll gladly try came from the church that I grew up in. There was this girls group called Rosebuds. So I was in Rosebuds. All the girls, young girls in the church were a rosebud. And the theme, our theme was, I'll gladly try. So we said that in unison. I'll gladly try. So if anybody asks us to do anything, the only appropriate and respectable response from good Christian girls like ourselves was, I will gladly try, which is some bullshit, because sometimes the answer is fuck off. Sometimes the answer is hell no. Sometimes the answer is I'm gonna tell my daddy. Okay? So anyway, I'll gladly try. I told Glenda that I'm really too tired after I leave Clara's to take on working another 12 hours at Deborah's. The truth is, though, that I will gladly try. Basically, I needed the Skrilla, okay? If I'm feeling okay at 6, I'll let her know. But it would be irresponsible for me to commit to both jobs on the same day, especially when one of those jobs is Clara, and they knew this. Clara's home isn't one where I can count on any rest, mental or physical, at any time. I know you can't tell by how long my posts are on this blog, but I am stealing moments to jot down notes. As much information as is in the post, believe me, there's a lot of work and conversation that is left out. Anyway, I feel good this morning. I had a good night last night, and I'm praying for an easy day here with Clara. I heard her screaming for help, and I ran in the room, and she was asleep. I wonder what she was dreaming about. 8:13 a.m. It's way too early for me to start counting down the hours until I leave, so I may as well work on some creative writing or something or enjoy the time while she is still asleep. 9:30 a.m., 10:29 a.m., 10:59 a.m. Clara. Isn't it awful that that officer just returned and then he was killed? Me, yes, it is. 11:13 a.m. My vision is blurry, Clara. What's up with my eyes? 2:07 p.m. Clara. I'm not surprised at all the empty seats at the Dodger game, me. Why? Clara. Well, the price of groceries is so high nowadays, especially the fresh fruits and vegetables. Look at that commercial on television. The adults are getting caps on their teeth now, You notice all these adults with perfect teeth? Those are caps. 2:21 p.m. Clara. I've got to get a hold of a Lincoln dealer. 4:00 p.m. Clara. Do I have a diaper on? Me. Yes. Clara. I'm actually finished going, Me. Okay. Clara. Would you cut the TV off? Me. Sure. 4:46 p.m. Clara. Well, I don't want to just lie here like this. Would you at least cut the TV on? Me. Sure. The thing about dementia is the moment. It is often frustrating for people who are caring for them, sure. But the moment is the point. Right now, I don't want the TV. Right now, I want the TV. This moment, I don't like you. This moment, I do. It's the thing with dementia. And you deal with it. And it's easier to deal with it if they are good people. Let's just say that. What if the rest of us could adopt some of this moment to moment thing? I mean, in a way, we can choose for the moment and not from the past. This moment, I like you because of this moment. Not because of what you did or what we shared yesterday, but this moment for this moment. I don't like you right now because of this moment. Not because of what you did years ago, but because of who I perceive you to be in this moment. No guilt, no obligation, just choosing in the moment. What if we did that? Clara. What time is the special on Lucille Ball coming on? Me. Who? Clara. Lucy, Desi's wife. I read all about it today. I went to get the paper, and there was a write-up about the special honoring Lucy's birthday. The things she remembers. I often have to catch myself. I spend hours running back and forth and back and forth. And at the end of the day, when she tries to go off on me, what immediately is in my human head is, wait a minute. Everything I do for you and you say this to me. That's what she said to me. Okay. But often she doesn't even remember me or that I did anything for her. I quickly have to remember that and then I let it go. Okay, so back up. She didn't say that to me, but that's what I am saying to myself about her. Everything I do for her, and then she'll say shit and I have to catch myself and I have to remind myself that she is not adding up the shit I do for her in the day. Only I know this. Only I am cognizant that I do so much for her. And then she'll say shit she would have me coming back and forth and back and forth and back and forth from the living room to the bedroom. And then one day she had me running back and forth a whole bunch. And at the end of the day, she said, it's a good thing that I called you a lot today. Why, Clara? I mean, because you could use the exercise. Anyway, 5:39 p.m. Help! 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 Me. Coming in from the condo community laundry room downstairs. Yes, Clara, here I am. Clara, what do you want? Me, you call for help, and now I'm asking what you need. Clara, well, what time is supper? Me, usually around 7. Are you hungry now? Clara, well, I don't need you asking me about right now. I'm asking about the time of dinner and who is cooking, and you're talking about something else. Get my daughter on the phone. Me, what do you want me to tell her? Clara, ask her about the situation regarding the time and the people. And then you have the television on channel 9, the Republican channel. I'm not a Republican. Channel 7 is for the Democrats. Everyone knows that. I breathe. And then I move on. Clara was a piece of work, baby. I'm going to read another one from Clara. Fuck that. I just do not visit this whole shit. I never even go down this street on memory lane. Okay, this is Saturday at Clara's, and this is from August 6th. So this is before this date. This is August 6th, 2011. I'm at Clara's this morning, and I am sleepy. Like, I keep pausing because I don't know if I said something embarrassing or real or weird. Today, I don't feel like being here. It's never my favorite place, but today, I really don't feel like it. I gotta shift my energy soon because this shift is 12 whole hours. I think one of the reasons I'm resisting being here today is because I had such a good night last night. Excuse me, at home. I bought a few groceries. I watched a movie. I finally cleaned my room and drifted off so peacefully. It rained last night, and I had my windows open. I love to feel the night air on my face while I'm under a bunch of covers. Also, I bought some new pillows. I slept well. It is so rare that I wake up in my own bed. This morning, I woke up in my own bed and a clean room. Let this be an easy, quick day, please. And of course, I'm back here tomorrow. Thankfully, Clara is sleeping right now. Jennifer and I are talking this morning about the really racist statements that Clara makes. Jennifer usually works the night shift for Clara, and we sit for a minute when I relieve her in the morning. Today she told me that Clara asked her if she was Today she told me that Clara asked her if she was trained in Mexico. Jennifer is from Puerto Rico and took the time to explain that to Clara, surprisingly. 8:43 a.m. I dozed off. Clara is still sleeping, and the men are here to fix the air conditioner. Hopefully they won't wake her up. As I was asleep a minute ago, I remembered a dream I had last night. Almost like the dream came back to remind me that it was there. I don't know where we're about to go, so hopefully it's cool. I was holding a cat. I don't remember this dream. It was a black and white cat with black on the body and white on its face. I was standing and holding the cat with one hand, almost as if the cat was hanging on to me. The cat was looking up at me, and I was looking down into its greenish blue eyes. Slowly the cat showed its fangs and extended its claws and opened its mouth wider to bite my hand. Someone else was in the room, a woman. I don't know who she is, but in the dream I knew her. I woke up as I began to try to push the cat away from me, but its fangs kept growing. I don't know what was going on. I don't know what the dream meant, but the cat reminds me of Clara. The cat reminds me of Clara, who bites the hands that feed that feed her, that feed and care for her and try to hold her up. Bless my fucking heart, right? I would gladly try. I read a dream book that said that the dreamer is often all of the characters in the dream. Perhaps. This dream felt like a message. I am very much not a cat person. And Clara is, in fact. And this is kind of spooky. As I am writing this entry, I looked up and the book directly in front of me is called The Cat. Oh, damn. I never noticed the book before. Creepy. Maybe the cat is Clara, biting at my hand as she is trying to hang on for life as I shake her off of me. Bless my heart. Even in the dream, I remember knowing myself as someone who didn't like cats, yet I was willing to hold the cat until it showed its fangs. I didn't start to shake it until I felt threatened. As Clara is concerned, all of the caregivers give and give and give and give and give infinity to this woman who constantly insults us. 10:44 a.m. Talk about dreams coming true. This is my most difficult day yet with Clara. They were all my most difficult day with Clara. She is just now having her breakfast because she has been fussing all morning, yelling, $9 an hour, yelling, screaming. It has never been so bad for me that I wanted to walk away from this condo and drive the fuck home. Right now, that's how I feel. No, I won't do it, but it is how I feel. I had to step away from her and breathe and pray and curse and pray and breathe. I called my supervisor and left a message for her to call me back. She hasn't yet, but she needs to soon. I have worked well for this company and perhaps have led them to believe that I can take anything. I can't. I just looked at that book again, The Cat. It's kind of freaky. I gotta get some rest because she is getting on my fucking nerves. 11:17 a.m. 8 hours to go. Can you imagine this? I can't even imagine like doing this today. It couldn't happen. 8 hours to go. 11:18 a.m. I don't like it when she refuses to get out of bed because she doesn't want me to stay in the room with her. And I don't want to either, but she keeps calling me and expects me to come immediately from the living room to her bedroom. Clara, hello, hello, hello. Anybody there? Me, I'm here. Clara, well, how am I supposed to remember what I wanted now? She is on the phone with her niece now. Not Helen, but someone from out of town. I think we are both on one today. I'm tired and she is extra cranky. She is accusing her caregivers of stealing her life. All the time. She is accusing her caregivers of stealing her life alert medallion. Thank goodness her niece or her daughter, whoever, keeps pulling her away from that conversation. I gave her her medication this morning, and she said that I needed to call the doctor because she hasn't been taking her medication. Me, why haven't you been taking it? Clara, well, because the druggies here keep stealing it, of course. After work, I have to go to Hawthorne. I really just want to go home and sleep. Calgon. 11:53 a.m. I'm tired already. I cannot fucking imagine doing 12-hour shifts every day with this bitch. 11:53 a.m. She is on the phone now, and what a difference journaling makes. 12:22 p.m. Clara, hello. And that's how she sound. I'm not making shit up. That's how she would sound. Hello. Me, I'm here. Clara. Well, I have to have a BM. Her third one today. Me. Okay. Clara. Well, do I have a diaper on? Me. Yes. Clara. Well, how am I supposed to let it go in a diaper? Just let it go? Me. Yes. Clara. Well, how was I supposed to know that? I've never gone in a diaper before. Me. I started laughing inside because I thought about my conversation with Jennifer this morning and how Clara asked her if she was trained in Mexico or something. Clara, hello, hello. Are you coming back this way? Me, walking back to the room. Here I am. Clara, did you take a look at this? The morning paper. Me, not yet. Clara, because you should, you know. The price of gold is rising. Me, okay, thank you. Clara, yeah. Me, walking back to the living room. 12:33 p.m. Clara, hello, hello, is anyone there? Me, here I am. Clara, well, listen to this. The price of gold has risen in the last 10 years from 250 an ounce to 1,648 on Friday. So if you have any gold, then now is the time to sell it. Me, okay. Silence. Me, okay, I'm going to see if your coffee is ready. Clara, yeah. Boy. Ooh, this is her real name. I'm not going to, this is my supervisor, and that was her real name. I'm not going to say her name. Boy, Sandra has really gotten awfully fat, hasn't she? I can't believe I put her real name in there. This is what happens when she stays in bed all day. But where was I? Oh, I thought about how Jennifer told me this morning that she had a client last week, actually 2 clients, a husband and a wife. And the neighbor came over and stayed there with Jennifer. Jennifer's Mexican. And stayed there with Jennifer for her 5-hour shift, demanding to see her papers. Me. Shut up, Jennifer. Jennifer, no, girl, she did. I told her I didn't have to show her anything. She went on and on about Mexican illegal workers, and I told her I was Puerto Rican. She said whatever, and to show her my papers or she would call the police. This is 2011. Of course, I dared her to call the cops, which she did. Me, no, she didn't, Jennifer. Jennifer, yes, she did. And those motherfuckers are a trip. So while we waited for the police, she kept telling the couple not to worry because the stranger would be out of the house very soon. Me, did the police show up? Jennifer, yes, a long time later. They told me that they know how she is, and that's why they didn't come right away. They asked her to leave, so she got mad. It's so messed up. All we are trying to do is take care of these people, and they act like we are fucking criminals. Oh, and before she left, she got all in my face and said that she had her master's and that she knew what I was up to. I told her that I had my master's too. Then she was all, then what are you doing here? Shit, I need the money and I know how to take care of people. I didn't say that to her though. I just watched the police escort her white ass back across the street. Okay, put my finger there. So that's the other thing this agency would do is they would assign us black and brown women. They would assign us couples, but only pay us for only one of the couples. Like in this, because I used to work with this couple too. The husband was the client, but the wife couldn't do shit either. So we have to work for her too, but we don't get paid for working for her. Right? So when you cook breakfast for him, you got to cook breakfast for her. When you take him to the doctor, she got to come too for some reason. Who the fuck knows? But she got to come too. So that's 2 people, and she has a wheelchair. So now you got to get them both in your car and get her, who you're not being paid for, her wheelchair in your motherfucking trunk. And then you got to do all but you're not being paid for her. And don't complain about it, because then you're going to be a angry black woman. And you know what? At some point, it's like, you know what? Hi, this is angry black woman calling, and Anyway, 1:02 p.m. 6 hours. Nigga, fuck. I'm tired already. 6 hours to go. I'm tired. I'm tired reading this. And I still have 6 hours to go. Bless my heart. I told, I'm tired. I'm not going to read that. Clara, hello, hello. Me, I'm coming. Clara, hello? Aren't you even going to answer me? Me, here I am. Clara, I need to have a BM, so would you put my papers and coffee on the dresser? Me, sure. Clara, and put my head back a little. Me, okay. Clara, well, what do I do now? Me, have your BM, I guess. Clara, well, which position should I be in? Me, how are you comfortable? Clara, well, don't you know anything? Me, leaving the room. Clara, so you're just going to dismiss the whole thing, aren't you? Me, are you comfortable? Clara, well, yes. 30 seconds later. Clara, hello, hello. Me, yes. Clara, would you put my head up and hand me my papers and coffee from the dresser? 1:51 p.m. I need to do laundry, but she is sleeping and may wake up screaming. I should try to close my eyes while she is sleeping. Let me say here, because I don't want it. I don't want the fucking smoke in the comments. It's not, I am a nice person. This person just intentionally did things to make life difficult. She just did. And she just did. And it made zero sense for this agency to have one person be on staff. One staff member to be with her for 12 straight hours. It made zero sense for that to happen. Zero. That shouldn't have been. We didn't have 12 hours with... No, that's not true. I was going to say we didn't have 12 hours with anybody else. That's not true. But she was especially difficult. And for me to have taken over every other client staff member who had Clara, who decided that they didn't want to work with her, and so I would just do it. And so I have her every day of the week, so you know there's a problem here. Anyway, but say what you want to say. I need to do laundry, but she is sleeping and may wake up screaming. I should try to close my eyes while she is sleeping. 2:49 p.m. Clara, did you see this? Mexicans now make up 40% of the population? Me, that's good, right? Clara, well. Me, here's your lunch. Clara, well, I don't want ketchup on my turkey dog. Ketchup is loaded with sugar, you know. That's why everyone is so sick and fat. Goodness, go put some mustard on it. Me, there is another way you can say that. Clara, well, I just want mustard, that's all. Me, unbelievable. 2 seconds later. Clara, well, where are you going? Me, to get the mustard. Clara, and it's taking you that long? Me, here you go. Clara, okay then. Me, not that you bothered to say thank you, but you are welcome. Clara, I always say thank you. Me, okay. 3:03 p.m. 4 hours left. 3:20 p.m. 3:50 p.m. 3:57 p.m. Clara, hello, hello. Me, yes. Clara, don't I have a telephone somewhere around here? Me, here it is. Who do you need to call? Clara, why do you care? Me, I don't. But if you need help dialing, then let me know. Clara, well, I don't. Thank you. She dialed and actually reached someone. Who knows who she is talking to? And now she is arguing with whoever it is. Clara on the phone. Well, you could just tell the truth, you know. If you want to go, there's no harm in saying you want to go. Clara, Oh, well, I'm not talking about any of that, Clara. Well, okay, you sound much, much better than you did before. 20 minutes later, Clara, you never called me. You never called me to find out how I'm doing. This is her still on the phone. 4:14 p.m., 4:18 p.m. I'm not going to read another. I'm not going to put you through another Clara story, and I'm not going to put myself through another Clara story. I'm exhausted. I don't know how you are. I hope you're well. I hope you're well, my loves. I hope that you are well. I hope that you are a nice person right now, because who you are now is who you are going to be. If you get dementia, you're going to be worse. You're going to be that with 10 on it. Be a nice person. It's possible to be an old, nice person. It is. It is. What happened with Carol? I actually quit because it was too much for me. Because they would not, I asked and asked and asked repeatedly to be not removed as caregiver for Clara, but I asked to be removed from the only caregiver for that time slot for Clara for 12-hour days every day of the week is doing way too fucking much. And they never would do it. And then when I said, you know what, I can't do this, I quit. And then the boss, the black guy, who called me an angry black woman all those times, said, maybe you're just burnt out. Maybe you need a couple of days off. I've been telling you that. But I'm done. Now I'm done. I'm actually gonna take a shower and go to bed because I'm fucking exhausted just from reading that. I hope that you're well. I love you. I do, you know. So this was Storytime 13. And this would be 13 on Clara. Storytime 13. I'm enjoying this project so far. So it's Storytime 13 / 365 because I'm going to 365. 365. What's 365 minus 13? That's how many days we have left together. Me and you. You and me. Us. Together.